Howdy, brethren. I thought I'd link a video here. It's Dr. Andy Woods, Pastor Andy Woods, and Jim McGowan, Pastor Point of View. This is number 4. He does a regular YouTube video called Pastor's Point of View. This is number 4. The other 3 have been very good. The only problem I have with Andy Woods is that he's not a King James Bible believer, and you'll see him here talking about Revelation 13 verse 16, where it says, the King James Version says, in the right hand or forehead, and he said that it's on, but we know it's in, because we're King James Bible believers. And the irony is that the article that Jim McGowan reads out says in, so these tattoos are actually going in the skin. So let's listen to a bit of it.
Well, I've seen some prophecy teachers aggressively say, stop sensationalizing. This is not the mark of the beast. Well, we don't think it is either.
No.
But how can you ignore all this? I mean, it's obviously a pretext for the coming mark of the beast system, and COVID-19 has accelerated this.
It has.
More than anything I've seen in my lifetime.
Well, this is report on your neighbor, and report on yourself too.
Yeah. And our last item here is something that a lot of people have been talking about, immunization passports. In other words, it's not until you get the proper passport that you're going to be, and prove that you're not a carrier of COVID-19, that you're going to be readmitted into the normalcy of life. We have this article, and we were very careful about this. We didn't want to make sure we weren't, reporting fake news. Give us the site of that, because you tracked this down.
The original source is www.naturalnews.com.
Well,
the author's name
a lot of people would say natural news is fake news, but anyway,
And there's a line in
I
it,
don't
we
think
won't
so,
read the
but
whole
not
thing.
on this
It
bit.
says ID 2020. That's the marriage of microchip technology with vaccination. ID 2020 chips are additionally...
Another thing with a lot of these so-called truthers, that Spiro guy that I recommended before, after I recommended him, and his information is it's hard to be denied, but then he did an interview with David Icke. Now the trouble with David Icke, he's got his own religion, and it's satanic. So I don't mind truthers if they don't push another satanic religion, but you have to watch people like the fact that Spiros or Spiro, whatever his name is, would go to someone like David Icke, or these other truthers would think David Icke is some sort of person they should get information from. It's just a joke. The guy is satanic, and it's just he's got all this other twisted leaven that he brings into his so-called truth, and people know he's a nut. They're not gonna, like, if things you say line up with David Icke, some things, people are just going to think you're crazy anyway. So yeah, steer clear of saying David Icke's got anything to say, because he hasn't.
Being injected into the bodies of vagrants or homeless people in Austin, Texas. Yeah. So you can read the article for yourself and see if these things be so. But it's not, is this not, Brother Jim, another example of beta testing?
It's frightening.
I mean, they're testing it out with the homeless. They're testing it out in the third world before they roll it out into the American middle class.
Yeah.
And that's why I think it's very instructive to monitor what these people are doing. And we now see the advocacy of something called quantum tattoos. And the title of this particular article is Quantum Tattoo and a Digital Scannable Vaccine. This is an article from newswithviews.com, Anita Hodge, April 18th, 2020. Tell us about these quantum tattoos, which will likely, all things being equal, be part of this immunization passport.
As of Friday, April 9th, 2020, Dr. Fauci stated that coronavirus immunity cards are being discussed by the White House. Bill and Melinda...
Let me stop you right there. You can find Bill Gates on video saying that same thing.
Yes.
Saying, yeah, we're going to go back to normalcy, but not until people are, fit to return through, and he doesn't describe it, but some kind of immunization passport. Well, now we're learning what this immunization passport is all about. It's this quantum tattoo, but sorry to interrupt you.
No, that's okay. The White House is talking about it, and guess who's behind it? Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation poses quantum dot digital tattoo implant to track COVID-19
Implant.
vaccine. Quoting.
Did you hear that? Implant. So yes, in the right hand or in the forehead. Sorry, Pastor Andy.
By selectively loading microparticles into microneedles, the patches deliver a pattern in the skin that
In the
is
skin.
invisible to the naked eye.
In the skin of
but
the
can be
forehead
scanned
or in
with
the
a
skin of the
smartphone
hand.
that has the
Or
infrared
vice versa.
filter removed. The patch can be customized to imprint different patterns that correspond to the type of vaccine delivered. Tests using human cadaver skin showed that the quantum dot patterns could be detected by smartphone cameras after 5 years of simulated sun exposure.
This has always been,
Yikes.
this kind of thing is always interesting to me, because when you look at our famous passage in Revelation 13, verses 16 through 18, which says he causes all, the small and the great, the rich and the poor, the free and the slaves, to be given a mark on, not in.
No, it's in. The King James Bible, the authorized version that was around for centuries. That was the Bible for many centuries of Christians in the United States and other countries. For centuries, even before the United States. It says in. And so the NIV brings a Bible out that's got bits missing through those devils Westcott and Hort, and somehow that's not a retrograde step in God's word. That other versions become God's word after the King James has been around for so many years. It doesn't even make logical sense. Now these guys, Pastor Andy Woods, being an academic, should look into the issue. Research the King James Bible issue. I just hope he does. But he's a great teacher, and I always check everything he says with the King James, because he does like to run to the Greek. And we can't trust the Greek. He can't, because we don't have the original Greek manuscripts. Or Hebrew, all the manuscripts that the King James Bible translators use, we don't have access to that anymore. And they were experts. You'll never get people like them together again to put together God's word. Anyway, let's listen to the rest.
On their right hand or on their forehead, the Greek there is epi, meaning
No, we don't
upon.
run to the Greek
And
because
it
we
just
got
seems
God's
to me
word in
that
English.
This technology is awful
Sorry,
close
Andy.
Sure.
to what the Bible is predicting here. This
Sorry, Brother Andy.
quantum tattoo, which is sort of a pattern in the skin that is invisible to the naked eye.
Yeah,
but can
he just
be
said
scanned
in
with a
again, Andy, so the
smartphone
King James is
that
right.
has the infrared filter removed. Is this the digital immunization passport that Fauci and Gates and all of these people are talking about? What's already been beta tested on the homeless? They're now going to roll it out to the American society.
But
and
yeah.
say, we'll go back to normal, but you have to receive
These are very
first.
good.
And this is not the mark of the beast, but it's
Very good videos, these Pastor Point of Views. He's right on the money with
Sure
a lot of
looks like
stuff.
it to me. I just think it's fascinating that he says it's going to be invisible.
The only thing I would disagree with the COVID stuff is that the whole thing's a satanic scam. Like, there is no virus. And that's what I believe. But I have to respect other people are fearful of it. and so I respect that people are scared. So I'm not going to go around and shout in people's faces and say you're worried about nothing, because the situation is worried, but worrying for different reasons though.
So the reason I say that is because, I don't know about you, if somebody wants to get a tattoo, that's between them and God, but I don't want a tattoo on my body, right? But you know what, if I could get something invisible, maybe that'd be different.
Yeah. Wouldn't have the same stigma.
Wouldn't have a stigma.
Yeah, very interesting.
Interesting.
And then is the technology really here to do that? Here's our last news item. Entitled U.S. Firm Combines Nanotechnology Blockchain
Anyway,
for COVID-19
people can
passport.
people can listen to the rest of this. I'll link it in the description box and go back and watch the other three. But yeah, Pastor Andy Woods and Jim McGowan, they do a great job with these pastor point of views, and they're on the money with a lot of stuff, and they're worried about our freedom's been taken away, and rightly so. And they're not saying, because they're dispensationalists, they're not saying that we're in the tribulation or anything, but these are things that are leading up to the end times, so to say. So anyway, cheers and God bless, and yeah, check it out.